just the last few weeks on Sunday morning, when I've taken that few moments to just sort of ground and collect and clear, what I've noticed is I've been getting this big, huge grin on my face. Hopefully you guys aren't just sitting there watching me and you've got your eyes closed. Maybe you didn't see it. But this like involuntary huge grin. And I really, I don't know, I mean, there's probably many reasons. But I can really feel this. This is kind of cool. And it made me think like, oh, I wish I could see you in person, but this is really nice to see you guys. I mean, mostly the same faces every week. People I've been seeing for years. It really makes me happy. If I didn't tell you that yet, this really makes me happy. So thanks for coming out. The other thing I was thinking, there's a few poses that I haven't really been teaching online because I know some of you, and yoga students in general would really benefit from having blocks under the hands, especially like some of the forward folds and stuff like revolved triangle. Like I would never teach that without blocks available. So hopefully you guys have figured sort of some blocks out, whether you've found some online or you've improvised. Yeah, there, Jody, perfect. You've improvised, and it could even be like big cans of beans or something, or really like big books, like stacks of books maybe, or I don't know. I'm sure they're on Amazon for $1. No, don't go to Amazon. Go, go to Banyan. Banyan's got them. You know what I just realized? What I learned the other day? The Amazon logo. Just a little side note. If you look at the Amazon logo, there's a little line and an arrow underneath it. And it means, it starts at the A and goes to the Z, Amazon. And it's because you can get everything from A to Z on Amazon. Right? Right? Who knew? You were today years old when you figured that out. Okay, that's not really what I wanted to talk about at all. So this week, when I send you the recording of the practice today, I'm going to send you a link to a few podcasts, and they're all, you can probably guess, they're all Charles Eisenstein. Yeah, right, Megan? Exactly. Yeah, Megan, I'm almost done that book. I've been reading it every night. I've got like a chapter left. It's incredible. But he has a series of 3 conversations with a gentleman called Orland Bishop. And the stuff that they're talking about is incredible, mind-blowing magic, and really important. So they were talking about some stuff yesterday that sparked some other things. I had a good friend over, Tiaga Prem, is a yoga teacher in Vancouver, and we had some great conversations yesterday. And it all kind of builds off of some of the things that I was able to tease out of An Untethered Soul. And what occurred, the connection I made this morning was to the lessons that Siddhartha Gautama, called Buddha, taught. And if you go into what, Ali's got it, there you go. If you go into, anything, any intro to what Buddha was talking about, he talks about suffering and how life, the nature of life is suffering. I wasn't there, but I heard he said that a few times. And what Orland Bishop and Charles Eisenstein were talking about yesterday was trauma. And now I'm no expert, and I know some of you are. You work in fields of trauma and addiction and things like that. But what they were talking about was how life is, our reality, our lives, what we've got going on here is traumatic. It's all, we are being constantly traumatized, even at the best of times, right? because we have this idea of what reality is. We have these fixed ideas of how things should be. And I don't know about you guys, but nothing in my life is ever that way. No matter how much I try to control it and shape it and, dismiss stuff and attract other things, my reality, my moments never match the idea that I have of them perfectly. And I'm pretty blessed and it comes pretty close. But when you have a fixed idea, when we fix something, and this is where the untethered soul comes in, when we've pinned something in space and fixed it as real and how things are or were or should be or how we want them, and reality doesn't match up because it doesn't. I don't know, does anyone's reality ever match up perfectly to their idea of... No? Show of hands, we're good? Okay, cool, we're following along. And it might not be extreme, because sometimes, that discord between the way things are and the way you want them to be is, massive. And what is horrible, right? There is some real abuse out there. And no one ever imagines that, they want to be loved by their parents, and when they're abused by them, that gap is massive. And so a lot of us, the gap might be minimal, but it's still not matching up. So the trauma might be imperceptible or slight or, not a big deal, but over time that builds up, right? And we have this relationship with reality where it's never what we imagine or want or figured it would be. I don't know. I could go on and on and on. And the game that we play is we try and change reality in the moment, or the story of what happened, or we live in an imagination where we try and line these things up, what is with how we want it. And that's the game we play. We try and dismiss or push away what we don't want. We try and attract or draw in, or what we do want. And we're constantly doing this. And what all these teachings talk about is removing those pins, right? Deconstructing or releasing or wiping out all these fixed ideas of the way things should be. And when we don't have any fixed ideas of how it should be, then maybe, I haven't quite gotten there yet, but maybe suffering disappears. Okay, Christine's thinking about it. Maybe suffering disappears. Maybe we're not traumatized. Maybe. Right? Because we've been, our whole lives we've been playing this power game, right? Of trying to control and direct and fix and, right? And create all this dissonance. And that's got to all play out. All that's got to play out, right? We talk about the burning and the looting, right? And the protesting. That's just the karma of the way everyone, that was inevitable. Of course, all that stuff was going to happen, and some of us have to be in that. But the idea is, there's a space where none of these ideas are fixed. There's a lot in there that we're not going to solve right now. But I think just to notice that we are being traumatized. When our reality doesn't match up with our hope and our idea of what reality is, there's a trauma there. And we're suffering. Buddha saw this. So instead of dealing with the suffering, let's try and unpin our fixed ideas of reality and what this world is. I had a whole conversation about the Big Bang. Ask me about it later. It fucking blew my mind. But there's all sorts of things going on that we can't even imagine. We don't even know we don't know. And we're stuck down here in the muck, trying to straighten our costumes out. I don't know. Yeah. Self-limiting beliefs. That was the term that came up. Anyways, let's see where that takes us, yeah? I'd love to hear your ideas on it. I know I do a horrible job of replying to some of your messages, but I'm here. Yeah. So let's do that. Let's just get real present. I'll spend a few more minutes sitting. I'll talk a little less, you breathe a little bit more. So as what I offered lands with you and you create a relationship to it, or a relationship to it is created, just observe, just watch. There's probably one line or one word or one idea that I offered that stuck out. Maybe that's all you heard. That might be what you need to run with. And if none of it registered because it was a bit out there maybe, or you have something else that's just needs more attention, then focus on that softly. Right? Maybe fall behind it a bit to observe it. Like, don't get too wrapped up in any of it. And as you start to drop into these moments and what's here for you now, maybe you also start to bring awareness to the breath, to your breathing. And again, not the maybe fixed idea of how you should be breathing, but just how you are breathing now. And continually not allowing your fixed ideas of how the breath should be, how the pose should be, how your practice should be, how your yoga teacher should be, not allowing that to influence what the breath is like now, or what the pose is, or what I'm doing. Like, it's just every moment we pass through changes what we're in relationship with. It's constantly changing. It's not fixed. It's evolving, it's growing, it's morphing, it's learning. Let's just keep adding that in each moment. Grist for the mill, just keep adding it in. And part of yoga is replacing old habits and patterns with new, more beneficial habits and patterns until we're free of them altogether. So while we are here and we need framework, we need vehicle, we need structure, we need practice, we need the ability to analyze. Right? Maybe we add some of the technique in. Just the foundational ideas of being grounded and rooted, and then lifted and energized and receptive and available. Because of our understanding of our physiology, of our psychology, we know that a deeper, longer, smoother breath is better. So maybe we turn to that. Maybe we turn to that. And we deepen and we lengthen and we smooth out. Feel what you feel, hear what you hear. This is what we're working with. So as much as we want to really be allowing each moment the freedom to be magical and spacious and enlightening and peaceful and powerful, we want to start to unfix our ideas of how it should be and allow it to be the magic that it is. As we're moving towards that, maybe ideal, we might need to direct the show a little bit. Right? Make sure we're on the right track. We're heading in the right direction, and we've aimed higher. Right? All these ideals that we're in the streets fighting for or working for are possible. They are possible. And they're pretty high, these ideals, but they're possible. We got to aim for them, got to set our sights to them, and then we got to do the work. The work within ourselves is the best place to start, so that we're straight, we're clean, our hands are clean, our hearts are clean, our focus is straight, so we can get the other work done too. So maybe this is where you bring your hands together and your thumbs the center of your chest. Get real focused, as direct as you can be. Notice what's in the way. The path probably isn't clear, and that's okay. Of course it isn't. But there's your work. Be here on purpose, with purpose, aim high. You've got support. We've got a wonderful, I was talking about earlier, it makes me happy, makes me smile. When the moments are clear, I can't help but smiling. We've got good company here. Let that energy seep in and lift you up a little bit more. Okay, so with all that support, with your focus, discipline, determination, devotion, set your intentions, or turn to the goddess of your own understanding and frame it as prayer. All right, whatever your song is, maybe we can bring them all together with the sound of 3 ohms. Join me or let mine wash over you. Wherever you are, exhale completely, go all the way to empty. Take a unified breath, so a full breath in. And a pause, and a complete breath out. All the way out. And we pause again. When you're ready, if you're inclined, 3 ohms, inhale. just a few more moments here. Releasing your hands when you're inclined. A few more moments here to focus your effort on that Ujjayi pranayama. So 3, 4, 5 rounds to get that Ujjayi technique going. Regulate the breath with the back of the throat. We breathe through the nose. It's not nasal. We're not sniffing. It's deep, deeper, deepest. Right? We're lifted, so the lower abdomen is strong and engaged, but as we inhale, the upper abdomen expands to draw diaphragm down to really fill the lungs. Think about the back body for a few moments. Right? The upper back expands and lifts and fills, and then going all the way to empty every time. The exhale is always a little bit longer than the inhale. Keep exhaling, keep exhaling. Get to empty, touch the bottom, maybe pause, be there, still and stable. Then when it's time, you go back to full. No anxiety, no stress, filling all the way back up. Floating, pausing there at full, and then when it's time for you to empty, you do just that. Go all the way back to the bottom. Pour it all the way out. Keep exhaling, keep exhaling, keep exhaling. Pause. Another couple rounds here maybe. And by all means, you stay, you breathe here, and if you're watching this later, I'll speak to future you. If you're watching the recording, by all means pause it and stay 5, 10, 15 minutes. Right? And then when you're ready, when you've got your deep rhythm, right, surrounding you, enveloping you and all your movements, we're going to maybe shift to our hands and knees. Right? And we'll start there. We're moving towards a downward facing dog. And if you're ready, if you don't need to check in with the wrists and the elbows and the shoulders and the spine, if your movement's already established within your breath and the legs are awake, you can go straight to down dog and hang out there 5 minutes, right? Otherwise, it's that cat-cow work, right? You guys know it's hands and knees, and it might just be circling around the wrists with the shoulders, right? Or rocking back and forth on the wrists to deepen those angles and open them up, and right, moving the shoulders, right, moving the head around. How's the neck doing? And that's into those back bends and arches of those cat-cow movements. Inhaling to open and lengthen and lift the front body. Exhaling to draw the front ribs in and arch and drop the head and press the floor away. Right? Not limited to up and down. You can move the ribs side to side, round and round. Right? Some of you were around for the year of undulation. That was my favorite word for a while. You can undulate here. Remember that? All right. Whatever it takes. Right? You could press back to a child's pose. If you want to spend a couple minutes in a headstand, same idea. Right? I'll try not to overuse this, but you could pause me right now in the future and spend 5-10 minutes in a headstand. Right? Or a bathroom break. Whatever you need. We're on our way to that downward facing dog. So when the wrists are online and the spine is a little bit more awake and the breath is that much deeper, right? If you're for down dog, you're moving there, and you might not be. Right? It might need to be a child's pose. But if you're for down dog today, go there. And we know all the cues, but I'll repeat them. Inner hands pressing, base of the index, base of the thumb, really connected so the outer wrist is lighter. The arms, we want them straight. Right? And they're probably not straight, but we're working towards straightening the arms, lengthening those lines, lengthening the spine, lifting the hips further away from the wrist. So push the front of the mat away from you. Get longer. Lift the hips higher. Really drop the head. I bet you could let the head get a little bit heavier. And then maintaining all of that, working down through the legs. It might be as simple as balanced pressing down through the heels. If you need to walk that out, pedal it out, of course. And again, what we're working towards is straight, strong, clear legs. So if they need to be bent to accommodate for the wrists or the shoulders or the spine, then of course. But eventually, spine long, arms gripping, strong, legs straighter, heels pressing, downward facing dog. Really let the head go, stop thinking about it so much. And now 5 deep, full breaths. Right? Whatever that means to you. Right? They're going to be longer or shorter than mine. Let the head go completely. Maybe a little bit more, Michelle. Can you hang the head a little bit more? Knowing that the Ashtanga tradition, the Ashtanga Vinyasa, and they talk about the drishti, the gaze being at the navel. So eventually the chin is drawn all the way in and we're looking to our belly button. That's how much we want to drop the head. Couple more breaths. Don't go dull. Really press the front of the mat away from you. Keep the spine lengthened. Yeah, go Emily. Legs strong, right? And gripping the quadriceps lifts the kneecaps and you can plug them into the knee joint, stabilize that joint, press those knees back to really clear that space, all that congestion behind the knees. There you go. How about one more breath? Full breath in. And a complete breath out. Now we're just going to wave back and forth. So inhale, come forward to a high plank. And this first visit, spend a few breaths here. Right? So come to that high plank, that high push-up. Play with it here. It's a little bit more weight, a little bit more work for the wrists maybe. Yeah, the knees can come down. Of course they can. Right? But maybe you're exploring again a little bit, rocking back and forth or circling one way then the other. Come back to center. Maybe scrub the feet further back. So the heels are above the toe mounds, the legs get strong, hips same height as shoulders. Push the floor away from you. Draw the front ribs in. Lengthen through the spine, so reach the crown forward. As you press the heels back, inhale, length. And as you exhale, press back, downward facing dog. You can of course go to child's pose. We'll do this a few times. Inhale, ripple forward, wave the spine forward, high plank, the knees can come down. Exhale, soften the knees, press the hips back and up, drop the head, down dog. Do that a few more times. If it serves you, inhale, ride the breath forward. You can stay here. Exhale, wave back, all the way back, down dog or child's pose. Maybe one more time, forward and back. Inhale. How liquid, how fluid can you get rippling forward? Be there, strong and full, powerful. And as you exhale, give it all back. Give it all up. Press back and up and be there. Inhale, come forward one more time. This time, as you exhale, lower to the floor. You can drop the knees. We're going to take a few pulses, so we're all going to go all the way down. And then wait for the inhale. Roll the shoulders, strength of lower back. Inhale, lengthen, lift the front body. Right? Roll the shoulders again. As you exhale, wave back down. And you can play with this. You can float the hands and just use the strength of the spine, of the core to lift you. Right? Or as you inhale and lift, you could stay as you exhale and move a little bit, or lower again as you exhale. We'll do one more pulse here. One more time lifting. Or staying lifted. One more time lowering or staying up. Perfect. And then one more back bend here. Inhale, lengthen, lift the front body. Go all the way to full. Lift up more, fill up more. Pause there. Don't rush these transitions. And as you exhale, release. Push back knees, tuck toes, downward facing dog. Beautiful. And then just one breath. Inhale, come forward, high plank. And you always have the choice of skipping this altogether or lowering halfway as you exhale or lower all the way. Wait for the inhale wherever you go and lengthen, lift inside of it. Right? Lengthen, lift the front body, upward dog or cobra. And it's the exhale that sends you back, guides you back, downward facing dog. Beautiful. 3 breaths here. Right? Playing a little bit less. Noticing if this play is because you're trying to match your down dog up to your idea of down dog or your ideal of down dog. Maybe just let it be what it is and listen to the why. And the why of it might be that you're not paying attention or you're not fully present or you're being a bit lazy. And then, yeah, of course, turn it all the way on, right? But maybe there's a messaging in there that you really need to hear, right? A pain message that you need to honor or, right? Something might be emotional. I don't know. And I can guarantee you, if your head's not completely released, if your head's lifted, it's probably because you're overthinking this. Let the head hang, let the brain go. One more breath here. Full breath in, lengthen. Complete breath all the way out. Now empty, soften the knees, look forward. As you inhale, step, walk, scurry, top of the mat. As you arrive, it's that same inhale to shift your weight forward, to look forward. And as you exhale, release. Fold over the legs, let the head go, maybe bend the knees a lot. And we'll just do that pulse a few times. So that halfway lift. Inhale, shifting the weight forward, looking forward, lengthening forward. That might not bring the hands to the shins, it might. Exhale, your breath, you fold, you release your body, right? Do that a couple more times, right? Inhale, lengthen, lift. And if you prefer, you can stay in that halfway lift with strong legs and long spine and work on strengthening and lengthening, or release as you exhale. Right? How about you do that one more time? Take one more breath in this little space here. All the way out, exhale. And then in your way, serving what's going on for you, you come all the way up to standing. You can roll up, you can bring your hands to your hips, you can circle the arms all the way overhead and look up. And then exhale, stand tall. Right? And again, noticing how you're constantly manipulating moments to match your ideas. What if you didn't manage and manipulate everything? You'd suffer because they're not going to match your ideas. So then you encounter these fixed ideas and then you have a choice. Do I continue to manage and manipulate? One of the craziest things we can do, no wonder we have mental health problems, right? It's all creating trauma, right? When it doesn't match up. So put away your ideas. Connect to things as they are. I'm willing to bet when you do that, and these moments aren't colored by you in any way, that you encounter beauty, peace, stillness, freedom. Easier said than done. Right? But let's keep trying to do it. Exhale completely here, all the way to empty. Just a few rounds of sun salutations. Moving meditations. Inhale, circle the arms overhead, reach up, look up, stretch up. And as you exhale, dive forward, fold. Your way, honoring your legs, your spine, all the way to empty. Inhale to shift the weight forward, planting the hands so you can step or float back. Exhale, lower halfway or all the way. Do the push-up, do 3, whatever you need. Inhale to lengthen, lift the front body. Don't rush this transition. Lift higher, fill up more. And it's your exhale that slides you back, downward facing dog. Empty. Just one breath here. Full breath in. Complete breath out. Now empty, soften the knees, look forward, step or float. Lengthen as you arrive. Same inhale. As you exhale, fold. Wait for your breath, your inhale, you rise. Inhale, all the way up. Maybe reach up, maybe look up. Be there at full and stretch. And as you exhale, release the arms, the chin, the breath, not the legs, not the ribs. They stay long and strong. Again, like that. Inhale, reach up. Keep the strength and length. As you exhale, dive forward, fold. Inhale, prepare, get the weight into the hands, step or float, straight to down dog or child's pose, or do your push-up, follow your breath. Lengthen, lift as you inhale, be there for a moment, and exhaling sends you back to a downward facing dog. One breath here, full breath in, complete breath out. On empty, soften, look forward as you inhale, travel, step or float, lengthen as you arrive. Fold as you exhale. Inhale, rise. Exhale, stand tall. Let's do one more. I'll join you. I'm not going to say anything. Just follow your breath. Beautiful. This is where those blocks I was hoping you might have, or the soup cans, or the stacks of books, or the coffee table, or even the wall, and I'll speak to that in a moment, might come in handy. Okay, so the top corners of your mat, we'll use them for a forward fold in a few moments. Yeah. So we're going to exhale completely here, go all the way to empty. As you inhale, reach up, look up. As you exhale, dive forward, fold. Real simple here. We're going to step the left foot back. Yeah? Turn the left heel in. So that back foot's at an angle forward. We're lunging into the right leg, drawing the right hip back, left hip forward, and we're going to stand up into this warrior one lunge setup. Okay, don't add the arms just yet. Really get the outer edge of the left foot planted. Right? Left leg strong. Really deep into the right leg as squaring level hips will allow. Lift the ribs, lengthen the spine, lift up through the back of the head. Bring the hands to the hips in for a moment, because we're going to straighten the right leg. Okay? And as you straighten the right leg, notice that right foot might roll out. Mine does. Press the right big toe mound down. Stay connected to the back foot. Hips square and level. Shoulders roll. Yeah? Exhale completely here. Tail plugged. Inhale, lift the arms up. Maybe look up. Now as you exhale, we're going to bend into the right knee and sweep the arms forward. Shoulder height, palms up, outer edge of the hands together eventually, arms straight, lunge deep. And as you inhale, straighten the right leg, sweep the arms to the side and up. You can even lace the fingers, turn the palms and press here. And as you exhale, release the hands, the arms, sweep them forward as you lunge into right leg. We'll just do this a few more times. Inhale, straightening right, pressing down, lifting everything up. Maybe lace and press, maybe look. And as you exhale, dropping the hands, sweeping the arms forward, straighten them. Palms up, all the way to empty, head down maybe. Do that a couple more times. Inhale. Straighten, strengthen, lift and stretch. And as you exhale, lunge deeper. Outer edge, left foot pressing, sweep forward, empty. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. And then stay in the lunge. And you can keep the arms like this if they serve you. Anything going on your shoulders, you can draw the thumbs to the chest. And if you like, you can go straight up into that full warrior one shape. Right? Reach the arms, lift the gaze, take a few breaths here. Outer edge left foot pressing. Left leg strong. As deep into that right leg as serves you right now. And then from that foundation, square and stable hips, lift your ribs. Lift your ribs. I can see you. Lift your ribs. Most of you. Lift your arms, lift your shoulders. If the arms are overhead, work to straighten them. Beautiful. Take one more breath here. Full breath in. Complete breath out. Now as you inhale, look down. Straighten the right leg, bring the hands back to the hips. For this, we want the hips squared forward. It might mean you address that back foot a little bit. Maybe it goes wider, maybe it comes forward a little bit. Hips square and level, legs strong. Inhale, lift and lengthen the front body. And as you exhale, we're folding forward. Drawing the right hip back, rolling the left hip in. Legs stay straight and strong, spine stays long. When you can, release the hands. If the floor is available, great. If it's not, a couple blocks. There's a few different heights for these blocks, great. If you don't have blocks, coffee table. If you don't have any of that stuff, right? If you have it, work with it. If you don't, come to a wall. You can look at me for a sec if you need to see it, right? Set yourself up in front of it so you can push the wall away from you. So the hands are at hip level, right? Legs are strong, spine is long, hips are square, and we're pushing the wall away. This is a great choice no matter how open you are. And then wherever you're at, you're just using the breath, right? Inhale to lengthen. So you could probably get further away from the wall, Ali, just a touch to get even longer. Yeah, long, like really push the wall away from you. Right? Yeah, exactly. The gaze is straight down if you're using the wall. For most of us with hands on blocks, you would maybe be looking at the big toe. Eventually when abdomen, ribs, and chest come to that right leg, the gaze would start to travel up the shin, again towards the navel. Right? Most of you have felt me walk by you and draw your right hip back and roll your left hip forward. So you can do that now. Imagine I'm actually in the room. There you go. A couple more breaths here. Right? And we're working the legs. Feet are connected to the back heel, the right big toe mound. Legs we're working. That might mean we're not folding as deep. Keeping the ribs pulled away from the hips so the core is engaged, it's getting stronger, the spine is getting longer. How about one more breath here? Full breath in. Complete breath out. Now as you inhale, soften the front knee, lengthen forward a bit, plant the hands, step the left foot back, the right foot back, and as you exhale, lower halfway or all the way or go straight to down dog. Or child's pose. Perfect. Yeah, follow the breath, right? We'll meet in that down dog if you're going there, all the way back. One breath, right? Full breath in. Complete breath out. And then on empty, soften the knees, look forward. As you inhale, step or walk, top of the mat, lengthen as you arrive. Fold as you exhale. And then this time, step the right foot back. Same setup, same work. Turn the right heel in, outer edge right foot grounded, right leg strong, lunge into left leg, and then stand up. Right? And really mark this place with the feet, the big toe mounds, the knee tracking straight through the toes, the hips square and level, and then straighten the left leg. Keep working the hips towards squared forward. Right? Big toe mound, especially that left foot press, back heel connected, lift the ribs, and if you're going to, inhale, lift the arms. You don't have to involve the arms. Maybe lace and press and stretch, maybe look. Inhale here. And as you exhale, lunging into the left leg, dropping the hands, sweeping the arms forward. Shoulder height, palms up, head down, and then keep going. Inhale, straighten left, press down, lift up, look up. Exhale, nice long breath, nice slow, controlled movement within it. And then just keep going. Do that a few more times. Inhale. Go all the way to full and be full. Strong legs, long spine. Stretch the arms. Wait for the exhale. And then sweep as you lunge deeper and deeper and deeper into that left leg. A couple more times. You go. Exhale. How about one more time? Inhaling, straighten left, lifting up. And exhaling, lunging forward. And then whatever version of this you need to be in. Right? Whatever it is, the feet need to be planted. Legs supportive. Okay? The hands can be on the hips, together at the heart. Still reach forward, maybe even as an offering. Drop the head. Or you reach up. Maybe you look up. Say 3 more breaths here. Right? And from moment to moment to moment, from breath to breath to breath, This shape is going to change. It's going to evolve. It's never the same. Right? Allow that. Encourage that. Get involved in that. Right? And when your fixed ideas start to make noise, just see if you can fall behind them. Just fall behind all that stuff. And breathe. Deeper into that front leg, maybe. If you need the encouragement, this is me telling you to lunge deeper. One more breath here. Full breath in. Complete breath out. Maybe the hands come to the hips as you straighten that front leg. Inhaling, addresses back foot if it needs to be wider or closer. Right, hips square, legs strong. Inhale, lifting, lengthening both sides, not equal, so be open to the idea that you go further or you don't go as far as you fold forward. Hands to the floor or your props. Right? And again, stacks of books would work here. Or use the wall. Right? Or even put your wrists or your forearms on the back of a chair. Right? And drop the head. And this way you get to really work the legs. Right? Left big toe mound, back heel, legs strong, hips square. Don't fall asleep on me. Keep the leg, I can see your legs. That back leg especially, make it sing for a moment. Right? Spine longer, shoulders broad, breath deep. About 3 more here. Left hip up and back, right hip forward and in. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Beautiful. It's evolving. Don't try and stifle that growth. Let it be alive and natural and awake. How about one more breath here? And you can stay longer. Full breath in. Complete breath out. And then the next inhale to soften that front knee, lengthen, look forward, bring the hands to the floor, step right foot back, step left foot back, and you do your thing. 3 push-ups, chaturanga, down dog, child's pose, handstand. There you go. Right? Stay here if you're expressed. Make your practice a revolution, right? We want it to be in opposition to all these fixed, oppressive ideas. It's not a fight, right? But we're not buying into our stories. We're not playing them out again and again and again and again and again. We're stepping out of that track, and that is a rebellion. That is a revolution, and that's what we need. Right? All these fixed ideas. Anything within the story of separation that we're living that isn't founded and wrapped around the idea that we are all one. We're all connected. What happens to one of us happens to all of us. Nobody wins unless we all win. If your story isn't wrapped around that, make your practice about moving away from it. One more breath here. All the way out. On empty, soften your knees, look forward, step or float, lengthen as you arrive. Fold as you exhale. Inhale to rise, inhale, in your way, roll up, reach up, stand up. We'll meet in Tadasana or mountain pose. And just, let it be as it is. And this might be the part of the story where your shirt is untucked and your hair is in your face, right? Just let that be the story right now. Let it be that. A moment ago, as I started to channel some stuff, I had questions for me. What do you mean and what does that look like? Right? And I wish we could stop and sort of talk about those questions, but we're not going to. But I want to hear your answers. I want to hear your questions. Okay. From the top of your mat, take a big step with our right foot and face the side. Yeah? Nice wide stance. Left toes in slightly right away, right toes point out. Feet planted, legs strong, ribs lifted, arms float shoulder height. Right? Looking out over the right fingers, keeping those legs strong as you inhale. Just lengthen the right side of the body. Reach the right arm out along that right leg, and at your edge, the hand comes down. It might be knee, shin, ankle, right? Stay leaning back, so in the same plane as that right leg. The hand can come to and stay on the hip, or peel it straight up. Maybe even look up. And then there's all the refinements, right? That right big toe mound, keep it connected. Outer edge left foot. Left leg, both legs, strong. Some of us could do with pushing our hips forward and leaning back a little bit. Right? There, yeah, and lengthen the spine. Roll both shoulders. I talk a lot about that top shoulder, but maybe start by rolling the bottom shoulder and integrating that. And then roll the top shoulder and use that top shoulder blade to turn the chest. And then reach up. And maybe look up. I know that I don't look up anymore. I usually look down or forward. And you do you. A few more breaths here. Keep the legs on line, keep them awake. Roll the shoulders again, lengthen the spine. Exhale completely. One more full breath in here. Patient breath out, all the way out. Maybe you look down to get grounded. Inhale, come all the way back up, nice and strong. And if it's clear, you can keep the arms and simply switch the feet and go. Otherwise, release the arms, do what you need to do. Turn the feet. Right toes in, left toes out, legs strong, lift the ribs, get the arms back, and the next inhale to lengthen. And at your edge, where does that left hand land? Right? If the spine is still long, the chest is still lifted, the shoulders are back and down, then maybe you peel that right arm up straight away. Maybe you look up. Maybe you never reach up. Maybe the right hand stays on the hip. You might even wrap it around behind you to catch the top of that left thigh. You might play with that. And using that, grab that bind to roll that right shoulder even more and turn the chest even more towards the ceiling. Yeah. Remembering to maybe push the hips forward and lean back a little bit. Breath is deep, tail's plugged in. Yoga's not hard. Don't make it hard. Don't make it rigid. Don't try and control it and fix it. Let it speak to you. Let it have its say, right? This practice. Right? There's great wisdom that you're unlocking here. Don't you dare think you know better than it. There. Yeah, be in conversation. Consider not knowing. And take a few more breaths. Take a few more breaths. Maybe one more. Exhale completely. Looking down on empty, nice and strong as you inhale, come all the way up. And then this time, bring the hands to the hips, turn the left toes in. We're going to fold forward one more time. Nice wide stance, legs are strong, props out in front of you if you need them. And even here you could use the wall like we did in that first fold. The inhale is always to lift and lengthen. And then when you're ready, use an exhale. You can stay in that back bend longer. When you're ready, use an exhale to fold forward. When you can, the hands come down. The floor is unavailable. Use the blocks or the books. Always use maybe that next inhale to check the legs and the seat and the relationship to the heels. Maybe shift the weight forward, lengthen forward, look forward. And then using the exhales, we fold deeper. Any version of this that you're working with. Just that halfway fold, right? Where you grab the feet or the ankles, or the arms behind you. Or maybe you're deep and the head's down and the feet lift up. Whatever you're working on. Can the legs go straighter? Just means they got to get stronger. We don't want to lock them out. We want those knee joints stable, but that means turning the quadriceps, those big muscles in the front of your thighs on, lift the kneecaps up, plug them into the joints, press those stable knees back. Right? And if you do that, if you really commit to that for even just 5 breaths, right, you'll feel it tomorrow, maybe the next day too. There you go. Use the breath. The inhale is meant to lengthen, extend, open. The exhale to spiral inwards and down and go deeper. How about one more breath here? Full breath in. Complete breath out. And then from here, we're going to inhale and lift halfway lengthen. And as we exhale, we're going to walk our hands to our right foot. Right? So the back of the mat. Turn your toes out. Lift that left heel up. Drop your left knee down. Bring both hands up to the right thigh. So come up right through the spine. I like to draw my right heel back just a little bit. Find your balance, your focus. Bring the palms together, thumbs to your heart. Inhale, reach the chest forward. And as you exhale, we're hooking the left elbow outside the right knee. Drawing the right hip back. Inhale, lift the chest. And as you exhale, push right hand to left to twist deeper. And that might be the work right there. The left hand could even come to the right knee and the right hand could come to the sacrum if you need to back off a little bit. If you want to fire it up, tuck the back toes under and lift the back knee. There you go. And you go. If you have a bind or you open or you want to play with an arm balance, right? Or you want to reach that top arm. You have about 3 more breaths. Use them to focus maybe on the twisting. Inhale to lengthen and lift. Exhaling to draw yourself a little bit deeper. Roll that top shoulder. Use the shoulder blade into the back of the chest. Exhale completely every time. Maybe one more breath here. Full breath in. Complete breath out. And then use the inhale. Look down, both hands down. Lift the left knee. Walk the hands back through center. So back to where we started. A little moment here if you need to shift anything, and then we're going the other way. So walk the hands to the left foot, the front of the mat. Turn the toes out, lift the right heel, drop the right knee. Both hands up to the right thigh. Draw that left foot back a little bit, palms together, thumbs to heart. Inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, we're hooking right elbow outside left knee. Take the time, draw the left hip back, lift the chest. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, push left hand, top hand into bottom, left hand to right to turn deeper. Or back off, right hand to knee, left hand to sacrum. When you're ready, you want to turn it up, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Looking down might help with balance as you lift that back knee up, if that's what's going on for you. If binds, you can open the arms, you can fly. We're twisting here. Twists are shoulder and hip openers. So honor whatever's going on in those parts of the body. Take a couple more breaths here. Inhale to lengthen, lift. Exhale to twist a little bit deeper. One more here. Exhale. And then use the inhale to look down, release the hands down, lift the back knee, plant the hand, step the left foot back to meet the right, and either straight to down dog or do your push-ups. Right? We'll meet in downward facing dog. Right? Follow your breath. Open up. Beautiful. All the way back. Take a few breaths here. If there's anything you need to do, rest or play on your hands or, right? Got it. Okay. Exhale completely here. Go all the way to empty. Inhale, come forward to a high plank. Drop your knees. Take your forearms down, your elbows down, and then lift your knees back up. Right? And I'm not going to give you the whole spiel. You do you, the knees can be down, whatever. Just know that a strong core, which is going to take some effort, some work, some sweat, maybe some tears, right, is only going to help. Physically, energetically, emotionally, mentally, a strong core, a healthy spine, right, is only going to be of benefit. So maybe you just stay. Without complaint. With lots of breath. Without worrying how long we're going to do this for, because I haven't decided yet. Beautiful. And again, you can pause the video here and stay longer if you like. Otherwise, how about one more breath? All the way out. And then be cool about it. Knees down, hips down, forehead straight down, and slide the arms back beside you. So it can be palms up or palms down. Or you can lace the fingers together behind you at your feet. Feet together, heels together, legs together. Exhale completely here. Roll the shoulders away from the floor. Inhale to lift the chest and the shoulder girdle, maybe the ribs, let that lift the head. Keep the back of the neck long. You stay like this. You add the lift of the legs in if you like. Maybe if the fingers are laced together behind you, you reach the knuckles for the heels and lift even higher. Right? Otherwise, stay. Stay a few more breaths. And if you need to play the game, lift your left heel another inch. And then lift your right heel to meet it. And lift your right heel another inch, lift your left heel to meet it. Left heel, right heel, left heel. Both heels. Lift the chest. Inhale as high as lifted as you're going to get. Be there. And if you're ready, exhale. Release all the way back down. Turn a cheek. Release the hands, the arms, the heels fall apart. Notice all the ideas that you have. Don't engage with them. Just let them. Right? Starve them a bit. They'll go looking somewhere else. Just focus on the breath and the abdomen pressing against the floor and the lower back lifting. And there. All right. You stay like this as long as you like. A young lady the other day stayed for about 20 minutes on her belly. When I said turn over, you're welcome to do that. When you're ready, we're going to flip over onto our backs. And once you land there, it might be real nice to draw the knees in towards the chest. Give yourself a hug, a squeeze, a little rock, a little roll. All right. And I don't know why I didn't think of this before, but this idea of when you play this back, and I'm going to forward you this recording, this is a point where if in tomorrow's practice you want to do something different than what we do, if you want to go into the inversions next time, then just pause the video. Right? Perfect. Otherwise, perfect time for a back bend, right? Bring the feet to the floor. Feet come to the floor. Right? Whatever that back bend needs to look like. You can come up onto your knees and play with Ustrasana or camel. Or you plant the feet, the hands by your ears, or keep the arms beside you. Right? So how are you lifting today? Exhale completely here. And as you inhale, lift your hips up. If you're going all the way up, you keep going. If you're staying with the shoulders and the head down, then you're working to roll the shoulders deeper maybe. Right? Maybe that turns the palms up. Maybe that laces the fingers together. And play with the weight in the feet a bit. Chin away from chest. Chest towards chin. And I don't know, I like to stay in these back bends a long time. Right? So I use those blocks under my sacrum. You could bend at the elbows and catch your hips if the wrists are alright. You could lift up and down a few times too. Do 2 or 3 back bends. Or just stay. And the challenge might be to stay. The challenge might be to listen to the messaging and come out. Or the challenge might be to bring the feet and the knees together to really take that back bend all the way to the tip of the tail. You'll feel some compression. Right? If it's not too much, stay. If you need to back off, back off. Yeah, keep breathing, using the breath. Say 5 more breaths here at least. Right? So plenty of time to come back, to come out and come back in, or to come back in if you're out, to fire it up or turn it down a little. Take a few more breaths here. Breathing, another breath or 2. And if you're still expanding, if you're still lengthening, if you're still diving deeper, if you're still opening up, then stay. Right? Then stay. Right? And if you feel like you've gotten to complete, when you're ready, nice and easy, without any drama, right? We want to retreat in the same mindful manner that we approached. Right? So slowly, easily coming out and landing. So land the hips, the sacrum, lower back. Take the feet further away, a little bit wider, drop the knees, touch each other. Make a little tent. Feel what you feel. Receive and begin to integrate the experience. Try not to color it with your story. What does that look like? And if you need to move something, if the messaging is this needs to move, this needs to shift, maybe take another breath before you react. And if the messaging's still there, then maybe you move a bit. Maybe you wipe the knees from side to side. Maybe you draw the knees to the chest and give yourself a squeeze. All right. And when you're good, We're going to draw the knees in carefully towards the chest. Give yourself a squeeze, a little hug. Okay? This, I'm trying to say it too many more times, this would be a perfect spot to pause me and go into your shoulder stand cycle. Because what I'd love to see right now is all of us in the gallery to rock back and forth a few times along the spine, right? As much as you like you can just rock up and sit up, or you could rock way back and take the feet to the floor and rock all the way up, plant the feet, lift the feet. You could go that big. Eventually, I'm just going to rock all the way up. Extend the legs, right? Do whatever you need to do to find a really grounded seat here. So sort of walk the seat back a little bit maybe, right? Sit on something if you need to. Grab the straps if that's what's appropriate. Take a moment to get nice and long. Inhale, lift. And as you exhale, maybe just walk the hands forward. You might just be catching the ankles. And if you do, then consider grabbing the strap or the towel or right, the belt, whatever you're using, to really grab the feet a bit more. Or grab the outer edge of the feet. I like to take my hands over top my toes. Okay? Maybe you bring your hands over top of your toes. And then what I like to do is ratchet my feet a little bit. I press the toe mounds away, and that pulls me deeper into the fold. I stay deeper in the fold and just pull the toes back towards me. Yeah, you might do that a few times. Right? That was a revelation for me a couple of years ago. This sort of ratcheting forward and then drawing the toes back. Find a forward fold. Whatever version of it. And the feet can be wide, the feet can be together with the knees wide. You can do one leg at a time. And you could probably even choke up on that a bit, Emily. Yeah, you play with it, you don't have to. There you go. And you're pulling your chest through first. Yeah. Right, and again, don't let it, you want to keep it awake. Don't go dull, don't let it fall asleep. Because each moment's going to be different. Right? When you add in your participation with any moment, that moment changes. Be tuned, be aligned with those shifts, with that flow. The less you resist it, the less you suffer, the less traumatized you are by life. When we have these fixed ideas of these moments, and they're not that way, we resist them. Right? And we suffer, we're traumatized by that. Drop into the flow of it all. Get real interested in the eternal, the unchanging, the highest, whatever that means. And stay in this forward fold a little bit longer. A little bit longer. I'd recommend 5 more breaths. kind of an arbitrary number, but keeps you in the shape a little bit longer, hopefully. Using this little moment to maybe wiggle a little bit deeper. A little bit deeper still. And when you're ready to come out, do just that. Maybe there's a counter pose you need. It might be the hands behind you. Bend the knees to bring the feet to the floor to lift the hips up, right? Just open the hip flexors a little bit. Remember that legs can be straight or bent if you want to open it up. There. And then once you're done with all that, maybe we find a seat for a few minutes. Right? Upright and supported. So grounded, balanced, lifted. Hands on the knees or thighs or in the lap. Right? Set the shape. Allow the shape. Soften the gaze and lower it or close the eyes. In which case that internal gaze might be directed to the brow or the navel or the heart. Turn to the breathing. I like to call it, I was taught it as samavriti, same wave, same effort. We might know it as like a box breath. And it's where the inhale and the exhale and the pauses in between are all the same length. For example, an inhale for a count of 4, a pause at full for 4, the exhale is also for 4. We go to empty and pause at empty for 4. The count could be 3 or 4 or 5 or more. We don't want any anxiety or strain or stress. Just find your pattern. Any effort that's not needed for it, see if you can let it go. So the brow, the jaw, the wrists. Inhale, pause, exhale, pause. Just around and around and around. Let's say 5 more rounds. Unless you want more, you pause me and keep going. another round or two. Once you complete maybe the next round, let the control of the breath go. Release the pranayama technique. Release any effort in the eyes, the gaze as well. Maybe there's a floatiness that needs to be grounded. Just be here now. This might turn into a 5 or 10 or 15, 30-minute meditation. Maybe it's time to simply roll back, lie flat, shifting into Shavasana, corpse pose. Any support or layers you need, add that in. Feet wide, arms wide, legs and arms release, let them roll open. Hips and shoulders heavy, ankles and wrists melt. That melting goes right up the spine. Let the spine go right at the back of the head, heavier. Even the eyes sink deeper into the head. Let the jaw go. Let the breath go. And relax. Completely relax. if you need to stay longer, stay. When you're ready, you deepen the next breath. And then the next one.